Hi, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Bobby K here from the Three Spurs Boys. My friend Robbie over here from Lily White Lane contacted me asking me on how I felt regarding Poch returning on Monday to his old stomping ground, of course, the new Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and how I would react if I was a fan in the stands. A lot of fans, there's controversy now on how they would behave, if he would be greeted as a returning conquering hero, or if he would be booed as a Judas who left us almost a bit in turmoil. Things weren't too rosy after he left. So the arguments can be made for both sides. But for me personally, Poch is special. My children, I had forced them to start watching Tottenham from the time they were born, of course, like any good father should, really. And of course, they had no interest in football at all. It was in the Poch era that both my boys fell in love with Tottenham. They fell in love with him. That's really, truly their first manager for the club. So that was their first real experience with Tottenham and with football, really. They got inspired. He inspired them. They started watching football. It was great to see, Kane just become what he became under Poch. The likes of Danny Rose, Kyle Walker, these young players that came up and did fantastic for us. The Poch era was magical. That's why we used to sing "He's Magic." I personally would applaud him. I have no ill will towards him. If he had left our club the way some of our other managers have, are more recent too, and Conte and Mourinho, I think there would be a bit more of an issue. It would be harder to applaud him. But at the end of the day, we let him go. We kind of sent him packing and on his way, and we didn't offer him a job again. So when he went and decided to take on a job with Chelsea, I know a lot of us were upset. I personally did not like that. I thought he would show a little bit more loyalty, but he did say he would never manage down the road over at Arsenal. So, there's been players and managers now with Conte that have crossed from Chelsea to Tottenham and vice versa. Obviously, they're not a club that we're fond of, and I don't think we're a club that they're fond of. But at the end of the day, the man has a family to feed, and he's got a job to do. What Chelsea under Bowley was accomplishing to do was, or attempting to do, I should say, is buy a lot of youth, upcoming youth, a lot of players that are going to be very good in years to come, and I can see why Poch would be an ideal project manager for something like that. Why it hasn't worked out for him thus far, I don't know. I do wish him well in life. I don't wish him well at Chelsea, obviously. I hope he completely bombs. Who knows, maybe he secretly got so much love for Tottenham that he's over there trying to bury Chelsea for us and really leave a good mark. And all I can hope is he does well wherever he goes, and he returns to us one day and leads us to the glory. He claimed that he had unfinished business here, and the only way to finish that business is to put a trophy cap in the trophy cabinet, and with him leading the helm at the helm. So we don't know what the future holds, but for now, I personally would applaud him. I wish him well, just not on Monday. Come on, you Spurs.
Hello everybody, Little K and Big K here from the Three Spurs Boys. Now we were asked a question from a great friend. At the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on Monday, will we boo or applaud Mauricio Pochettino? Now for this question, I'm going to ask you. Go ahead.
That's a really good question, Krish. I mean, he is coaching Chelsea, but we gotta remember what he's done for us. Champions League final. We've had so many great moments with him, and I fell in love with him. He was my first Tottenham manager, even though at a young age, Dad made me watch Tottenham. But my first manager, fell in love with him. Brought in the greatest Tottenham player of all time, Eric Dyer. Phenomenal. Mwah. Mwah. But for me, I'm just happy he's got a coaching job, and I really, really hope that he does well in everywhere but England. And I do hope he comes back one day. And I was really, really hoping that he would become our Arsene Wenger or Alex Ferguson to stay with us for 20 years and lead us to trophies after trophies after trophies. But sadly, that ship has sailed, and we got Big Ange now. So I wish him the best of luck wherever he goes, except for England. And I really, really hope we could see him in the future.
Yeah, and I agree with that. But instead of Dyer, he did create a much, much better player. Youngman's son. Amazing. He brought him in. Beautiful. My favorite player. He also incorporated the youth squad. He made Harry Quinn a really good player under him. a really good player under him. And gotta love him for that. You know, his attacking football was amazing. Kind of parallel to what we see in Ants today. But yeah, I will applaud him as my final answer.
Come on, you Spurs.